Facebook and YouTube at Ghana Broadcasting Corporation. You welcome. President Akufo-Addo has announced that soon first degree will be the minimum qualification for teachers at the public education system in the country. To this end, colleges of education have been upgraded to 4-year degree awarding institutions, while some of the universities are already offering degree teaching programs. President Akufo-Addo announced this in the Ashanti region at the opening of this year's quadrennial delegates conference of the Ghana National Association of Teachers. Our correspondent Nicholas Osei-Wusu was at the event and has joined us with some more updates. Hello, good afternoon, Nicholas.
Good afternoon, Mr.
Nicholas, what was the explanation given to this new directive?
Yeah, the president is throwing more light on this new policy of the government, indicated that it is part of a broader educational, especially educational reform being declared by the government at all levels across the country, below the level of the tertiary. That's one of those. The reforms also caters for the formalization and inclusion of the technical education and educational training in the country as part of the formal educational system. So that is the reason we have offered for this policy government is actually adopting.
Issues came up during this conference.
Come again, Tata.
What other issues came up?
In fact, for this Congress, the highlight of it, or the highlight needs to be the election of an entirely new set of national officers to manage the affairs of the North until 2026. For this reason, we are going to elect officers for every position, from national president to the trustee or other positions. So all those officers are in the hands of affairs of NAS. As we speak, by the end of this Congress, what will be by Sunday, they would have all given way to new set of national officers. That's the high point of it. But in between, they are going to discuss issues, especially the 5-year strategic plan document. The NAS has already employed some consultants to develop for them. Yesterday, they had the occasion of listening to the brain behind the strategic document, Mr. Andor Linus. We take them through the specifics. Then also for today, what has been discussed, we have a number of deputies speaking to them. We also have the minister responsible for employment and labor relations. We also have the minister for education, and then the president himself also addressing them. But especially the creme of the Ghana educational system, from Ghana Education Service, from the Ministry of Education, from the employment, from the presidency, basically all those who matter most in the educational system were present at this particular formal opening session today. And they talked about a number of issues, some of which will be brought up as the days go by. We are going to summarize some of them.
Thank you very much, Nicholas. I was speaking with our Ashanti regional correspondent, Nicholas Osei-Wusu, who has just reported that the president has announced that soon first degree will be the minimum qualification for teachers at the public education system in Ghana. The president said this at the quadrennial delegates conference of the Ghana National Association of Teachers, currently underway in the Ashanti region. Now, an employee's work output and efficiency, otherwise known as productivity, depends on a number of factors: the work environment, otherwise called ergonomics, suitability for the job, the employee's personal habits, issues at home, the attitude of leadership at the workplace, and so on. A human resource consultant, Mr. Andy Osei-Okran, is on standby to help us identify what makes employees perform best always. Hello, good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon.
Thanks so much for joining us. What should an employer do to obtain optimum productivity from the employee?
Thank you very much once again for the opportunity, and Happy New Year to your viewers, and to all those who are listening to us this afternoon.
Thank you.
Like you rightly stated, that a number of factors work out to bring productivity at workplace. Now, in every organization, there are 6 main things that, if you are looking at productivity, they form as the input. Number 1, you look at the people. That means the labor, the human resource you are working with. You look at the materials that you are using. You look at the machines you are looking. You look at the time of people, the time allocated, the resources of time you also have. Then, of course, you look at the land. And among all these things, you realize that the people happens to be the main asset that we use in productivity. So if you get your people strategy right from the top to the least member of the organization, then you are going to get a very good productivity. But most of the time, the people strategy doesn't work as expected. And this is what normally affects our productivity. And the people strategy, we, like I indicated earlier on, start from the top. You need to get the top management commitment to ensure that we are getting productivity right. So this input actually gives us the output. So if you have efficient input, then you're going to get a very good output.
Half the time we talk about leadership as one of the key factors to employee productivity. If we say leadership by example, what exactly do we mean?
Thank you very much. Like we're saying, I mean, everything boils down to attitude, as indicated earlier on. Everything is attitude. Your attitude determines your altitude. So if attitude actually is the one going to drive all these inputs to get the output, then we need to get it right. So what is the attitude of the top management? Leadership is working example. Leadership action, like in our homes, you see that our children actually mimic what they see our parents or they see parents do, is what they do. And that's exactly what happened at workplace. What they see leaders doing at workplace, this is what they do. For instance, let's take one critical resource, which is time and punctuality as a major source. If you think that leadership, you are the top, and because of that, you have every right to come to work late, then that is what is going to cascade down to your employees or other direct reports. So leadership, by example, if work starts at 8 o'clock, then you know that you are already there prepared to start work at 8 o'clock. And obviously your staff are going to learn that example, mimic that example, and again, ensure that they come on time. The same thing, if they see leadership staying at work and working through times and making sure that they even work after time, after the closing time, you see leadership still busy working, then obviously staff or other reports are not going to hurry themselves out. By 4 o'clock, some of them have even checked out and they want to go. So this is the kind of leadership we are talking about. Again, leadership, after showing all these, you need the resources, the materials, the right resources, the tools, the money to be able to work. It is the function of leadership to ensure that these resources are also available for staff to use in producing whatever they are. So that is why we say leadership is the key to everything. You cannot just do anything and leave it out. Again, leadership shows the vision, the strategic things that we have to do, and cascade it down to the ordinary staff member.
Dr. Okran,
so leadership yes,
is key. Is key and critical, but how can employees be also motivated to be at par with management's general view and vision for productivity, what productivity should be?
Thank you very much. Employees can be motivated and inspired when they also understand the bigger picture. Most of the time, they are not exposed to the bigger picture. You can be a story to say an ordinary cleaner in the office, but you should understand that your cleaning activities as a link to the strategic goals of the organization. So if we can inspire that, you know your cleaning is actually going to make this institution achieve bigger things, then you will do it with understanding. So employees become inspired when they know that they are part of the bigger picture. or they are involved in the things that we're doing. Again, when they begin to see certain benefits to them, when you look at reward system that really enhance recognition and give them what they want, that they know that after all, when I kill myself, there's something out that is there for me to benefit from these things. So they can motivate themselves to do that. But again, supervisors, line managers have the key responsibility to ensure that direct reports understand these objectives or these expectations from them so that they can inspire them to be able to do that.
Thank you very much for your time, Doc. We are most grateful. I was speaking with Dr. Andy Osei Okran. He is a human resource consultant, and he was talking to us on how to identify employee performance at its best or worst. Now, key among all that he said was leadership by example. Go to Tema now, where the Customs Division of the Ghana Revenue Authority will begin the implementation of government's policy directive on the reversal of the reduction of values of imports on 43 selected items from today, January 4, 2021. However, the Association of Customs House Agents and the Importers and Exporters Association says the reversal of the benchmark values will increase the cost of living for Ghanaians, and in the days ahead, they spoke to our Tema regional correspondent, Michael Deonu.
The Revenue Authority issued a circular stating that today, the 4th of January 2022, benchmark values will be reversed. Already, the Ghana Union of Traders, GUTA, has given the strongest indication that prices will be going up, possibly by 100%. We are here at the Association of Customs House Agents Ghana, and one of the major freight services in Ghana, Integral Freight Services, to also find out from them what this means to them, the reversal of the benchmark value, and also its effect on consumers like me and you. The reversal of the benchmark value, how does it come to you as an organization, first of all?
Thank you very much. The reversal of the benchmark value, just a brief history, was implemented somewhere in April 2019. I think on the 4th of April. And the rationale behind it was that things were quite difficult and smuggling was taking place a lot. And therefore, to cushion the effect of the market, these values on the market, the government decided that, okay, why not? Let's identify all these items and give them a 50% discount on every item, FOB discount on every item that is important to the country. So what it means is that when you bring your consignment in, the value, if it's benchmarked, when you say benchmark, it means that the customs has applied a particular value for that particular item. For example, $20 per piece. So when you are giving a discount, 50% is taken off, then we add the freight, insurance, and others and calculate the duty for you. So it means that definitely the duties will go down. And for vehicles too, we are giving 30% off the home delivery value. So in a sense, it was something that very welcome news at that time, considering the fact that things were quite difficult in 2019 and all the reasons the government came, including smuggling, including the fact that the rate of exchange was not quite stable even at that time, including the fact that prices on the market were quite expensive. So the government decided that let's give some relief to the importers and to the general public by discounting some of these values.
Would it have any effect or impact on you now that clearing of stuff will be expensive? Does it mean importers would also be withholding or shying away from making sure that you guys clear?
Yeah, definitely. The very reasons why we decided to impose to bring out the discount, the same reasons still apply today. Of course, but I remember the government said that we want to stop smuggling because of these things. Smuggling would have to rear its head up again because if that same reasons applied in 2019, nothing has changed as at 2022. So smuggle the temptation for people also to smuggle because the duties on these items will be very expensive. It will be expensive at least as compared to 2020, 2021. It will go up. So now the temptation is, why don't I go and smuggle and get a few more citizens there, come and compete with those who couldn't smuggle, who pay the actual duties. I'll be on ahead of them. Yes. Let us identify the industries you want to help, you want to protect, and those industries, you remove the discounts on them. Those that we don't want to discourage, let's allow them not to allow them without the discounts. But those items that we think that we need to protect and generate some income industrialization, or we encourage that we also bring them up locally, then we can discourage the discounts on them. But then to say that everybody should enjoy the discount, I think it was, to start with, it was the wrong policy. It was the wrong policy. And I'm happy the government is saying that, yes, we have the courage to reverse it.
Thank you very much, Michael. The programs manager for the expanded program on immunization under the Ghana Health Service, Dr. Kwame Amponsah, says the focus of the Ghana Health Service is to vaccinate a sizable number of the population within the shortest possible time, irrespective of the targets set by international bodies. Reacting to the report by the WHO, which indicates that only 7 African countries met a target of vaccinating at least 40% of their population by December 2021, with Ghana missing the target, Dr. Amponsah said the Ghana Health Service currently has more than 13 million vaccines in stock for distribution, while admitting concerns about the short lifespan of some vaccines.
The fact is, WHO set a target and we haven't met it. So I wouldn't think that WHO would say we didn't meet the target. That said, as a service and as an immunization program within the service, with support from high-level managers, we tried. But of course, I know in the country we also had our own targets that His Excellency the President has set for us to achieve. And we've all been rallying behind that target and trying to achieve it as much as possible. So for now, we will still keep on doing the best things that we've been doing and keep on engaging so that come the next half year would have at least achieved, not the target, as close to the target as possible. For us, our target is to get all our people immunized or vaccinated as much as possible. So that's what we are still aiming at, irrespective of whichever targets are set by whichever benchmarks. We still think that the entirety of the population that is eligible should get vaccinated. And so that's what we are still working towards. Well, we got some vaccines that have what we call very short shelf lives. Remember, because we don't, first of all, we don't produce vaccines and we rely, just like any other country, relying on the key manufacturers. So we still have vaccines in stock. We have about almost 13 million doses, a little over 13 million doses, which we are still distributing and deploying. As at the end of last year, we had received about 24 million doses, half of them within the last 3 weeks.
The withdrawal of services by members of the Ghana Association of Certified Registered Anesthetists is beginning to have a negative impact on major operations at the Upper West Regional Hospital. When GBC News visited the hospital, it gathered that doctors are referring cases of operation to private hospitals due to the absence of the registered certified anesthetist. Swala Abdul Wahab has more.
Behind me is the theater of the hospital here, where most of the operations are carried out. I'm here to find out the impact of the withdrawal of services by anesthetists. The clinical care coordinator of the hospital, Dr. Steve Blankson, tells me that the industrial action is having a negative impact on their operations.
It's having a huge toll on us. A lot of major surgeries that have to be done, we have to refer. Some of them include maternal cases, and in these instances, time is very crucial. So if you delay in instituting the necessary care, you have to take time to call ambulance and refer and all that. And in Upper West, we don't have a lot of private facilities. So it's really having a toll on us. But some of the minor cases that we can do, we are still, able to do. So we are hoping that everything will be resolved so that the strike will be called off so that we can continue to deliver quality care to our clients.
GBC News spoke to some of the relatives of patients who had to be operated on, and this is what they say.
The medical phone say about baby mom because as next for the I want to buy a home because umudia gonna say umudia jumana yaso home chere me kura metu asisi ano me ba ana anya azent na nane na sanyi na buwe ana edi no bae anya nurse for na nim say me ba no obetumi afiri yaso so a enya.
The industrial action by the anesthetists is beginning to have a negative impact on the operations of health facilities, particularly the public ones. If this situation continues, the private hospitals that take the patients from the government facilities may be overwhelmed, and this is likely to create some health crisis. For GBC News, Swala Abdul Wahab. Wow.
Ghana has recorded 1,067 new COVID-19 cases, bringing the country's current active case count to 12,422. Out of this number, 23 and 4 persons are in severe and critical conditions, respectively. This is per the latest update by the Ghana Health Service, GHS. The new cases bring the country's total case count to 146,119, with 1,306 deaths since the outbreak of the pandemic in the country in March 2020, while 132,391 recoveries have been recorded. As of December 1, 2021, the country's active cases were 692, but increased sharply during the Yuletide to 8,554 by December 28, 2021. The Greater Accra region leads the chart with new infections. The region is followed by Ashanti region. The Ghana Health Service had earlier admitted that the country had entered its fourth wave of COVID-19. President of the Ghana Medical Association, Dr. Titus Bayo, has joined us to explain the implications of the rise in the cases. Hello, good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon. And let me make a gentle correction. I'm the General Secretary of the Medical Association and not the President.
General Secretary, well noted,
Yes.
sir. Thank you very much for joining us this afternoon. Should we be worried about the rise in cases, with the sharp rise in cases of the COVID-19 virus?
Yes, it should be a cause of concern to all of us residents in the country. Because as the cases go up, we are not just looking at the figures, we are looking at human beings. And as you can see, we are beginning to get increased number of severe to critical cases as well. And following that, if we are not careful, some deaths will also follow. So it should be a source of concern to us.
How alarming is the spread? Looking at the numbers, we're in the hundreds, and all of a sudden, in just less than 10 days, or just a little above 10, we went to the thousands.
Well, we predicted this, and we made that suggestion that we should all be on our guard. That as we celebrate in the midst of an Omicron variant, which is very transmissible, and with a low vaccination rate for the population, this is expected. So unfortunately, this is where we are. We haven't seen the end of it, but we can act together to bring down this curve, because it's projected to go up a bit more, and the critical to severe cases may also go up, and if we are not lucky, deaths will follow. So I think it is alarming. The only thing is that we still have some bit of control. And what can we do to exercise this control? The use of our face masks, physical distancing, the hand hygiene, and also very importantly, everybody who has not taken up the vaccination should try and take it up. Because if we have a high level of vaccine uptake, then even though we will get the infection spreading, we will have very few people with critical to severe cases who eventually may die.
Well, Doc, but let's talk about the people who come with the infections, the new infections. Are they people who have already been vaccinated or unvaccinated?
Well, I haven't taken a critical look at the data, but yes, in terms of health workforce, a lot of doctors have gotten infected, but they've all been vaccinated. A lot of nurses have been infected and they've already been vaccinated. The good thing is that because they've been vaccinated, they get the infection, they show some symptoms and signs, but we are not getting people being admitted into the ICUs among those who have been vaccinated. If they are at all, it's very few. I have to look at the data critically. But for the health workers that we have seen, the trend is that vaccinated people are getting the infection, but we are not getting a lot of them having critical to severe illness. They are recovering on their own.
Which is a good thing.
A very good thing. And a reason why anybody should try and take the vaccine. Those who are following various conspiracy theories must shift their position by now, so that as the cases go up, we still will not have a lot of deaths because a lot of people are vaccinated.
Thank you very much, Doc. We are most grateful for your time. I was speaking with Dr. Titus Bayo. He is the General Secretary of the Ghana Medical Association, and he has again underscored the need to be vaccinated and the adherence to the safety protocols of COVID-19. You're watching News Hour Live. The News and Governance channel. In other stories, the Speaker of Parliament, Mr. Alban Bagben's absence during voting on the controversial e-levy bill on Tuesday, December 21, 2021, raised concerns, especially from the majority side, who said it was part of a plan to frustrate business of the House. However, on GBC News' breakfast show on Tuesday, January 4, 2022, the First Deputy Minority Chief Whip, Mr. Ibrahim Ahmed, explained that Mr. Bagben left for Dubai on medical grounds and was communicated to both sides of the House.
He said that in all those disturbances or riot in Parliament, he has never presided over any. And that, in my candid view, if the Speaker were to be in this seat, I don't think there would have been even a single fight in Parliament.
What do you think about those who say that it is his absence from the House that occasioned it, and it displays a lack of leadership? Well, how do you respond to those questions?
Halfway, those people are just saying that out of sheer hatred. The Speaker went on medical leave in Dubai, which was known to both of us. And it was not only the Speaker who was due to go on the medical leave. The Speaker was to go to the medical leave with the majority leader. And we knew the two were to go to Dubai on the sick leave. But because of that press conference that the majority leader and his team did, oh, we'll come with our Speaker and we'll reinstate the budget. So he even had to defer his own medical decision. But the Speaker went. So on Tuesday 30th, they came with the First Deputy Speaker. And when they came with the First Deputy Speaker, they reinstated the rejected budget.
Still on the breakfast show, on the outlook of Parliament this year, the First Deputy Minority Whip, Mr. Ibrahim Ahmed, is hopeful for mutual respect and dialogue from both sides in the next session, which begins on January 18. He said the minority remains resolute in their stance to reject the e-levy until it is revised.
We're in government. By now, as a leader of the House, I would have called a meeting of the leadership for us to start the consultation. But you saw people on the street. Now, because we have a very strong parliament, you see that people are not on the street, but the opposition is in parliament. So government should not think that it's only the 137 MPs in parliament who are opposed to it. We are acting based on the promptings from the fallout from the 275 concerns, including even MPPs.
Do you think the MPs are in an uncomfortable situation?
No, they themselves are not in support of it. When they went for caucus meetings, some even chastised the finance and the road minister. If we pass this bill in its current form and give to Ken Ofurata, he will collapse the rest of the business moguls in this country. That ties of transfer covered by e-levy. Any other mode determined by the Minister of Finance in writing.
You think that's too much power?
Master, he doesn't qualify to hold this code. Can for that time you give him this, a blank check, and which business will survive after 2022?
What's the best case scenario?
Best case scenario is that let's go and apply the rules. Let's not change the constitution. From 18th to December is a new session of new year of Parliament. So once we are coming, they are bringing a new bill, and the bill, new levy bill that they are bringing should be a bill that Ghanaians have been widely consulted. If they want peace, we are for peace. Let's engage. Let's dialogue. Let's give us our reasons for opposing it. Overtaxing, and telling Ghanaians that Ghanaians are not paying tax enough is a lie. And when we meet the finance minister face to face, we can tell him that what you are saying is not true. Was Guta issue not part of a 5-point resolution? They pass it. Is Guta not crying? Guta is crying. Educational institutions. Is Otunfo not saying that we should change the educational system in the country? Kafui. Minority is not just there for opposition. No. Minority is to give constructive criticisms. So when we are constructively criticizing you, don't personalize it and think that I...
Now, the Ghana Police Service has arrested a man who went viral after firing an assault rifle into the air at the ANC Mall at East Legon on December 31, 2021 to welcome the new year, 2022. He has been identified as Flight Sergeant Nicholas Owusu-Frimpong. A statement from the police indicates that the arrest was carried out in collaboration with the military police. According to the statement, the suspect, Flight Sergeant Nicholas Owusu, is currently detained by the military police while investigation continues. On the line to help us examine the issue is the security analyst, Dr. Adam Buna. Hello, good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon and happy New Year to you.
Same to you, sir. A warm one to you too. Thanks so much for joining us. We are grateful.
Thank you too.
How serious is the practice of a young man firing a gun in the open?
Well, it is very serious. There are some questions that I believe the investigators should be asking. At what point was he given the assault rifle? Who gave it to him? How many bullets, live bullets, were given to him? Under what circumstances did he sign the firearm out of the armory? Who is he working? We know he's a flight sergeant. Which units, who is he working under at the moment? Because I'm aware he's seconded to Jubilee House. For how long has he been keeping the firearm? How many other officers like him are keeping unaccounted for service firearms or assault rifles? Has he used it in committing any crime apart from this? Has he rented it out in the past to criminals? These are questions we should be asking. Apart from checking all of this, I must say that it is despicable. It tells you how serious and deplorable our security situation could degenerate into one day, because then you have all these boys who are holding assault rifles, walking around and welcoming, a certain day by firing bullets into the air with impunity. And the military, you are told, is keeping him. He's committed a crime. The military don't have prosecutorial powers. So they should release him to the police for investigations to commence. By now, they should have presented him to court and let him remanded while investigations are continuing. But keeping him with the military, what is the guarantee that he's in the custody of the military? I mean, these are questions came about to ask.
How is his a reflection of Ghana's state of security? Should we be worried?
Yeah, we should be worried. Because the IGP, Dr. Dampare, is doing his best to, have the morale of his officers. I think you have hoodlums like this who are parading around with firearms. Now you don't know who is holding a weapon and what type of weapon, and the state of mind of the person. We should be worried. Because this guy could have killed anybody at the ANC more. I go there a lot. If I don't live far away, I go there a lot. And so it means that this guy he's not supposed to, he's not fit to be in the society where normal, sane people live in. So we should be worried. We have to be worried, yes.
Does this bring into discussion the issue on firearms locally manufactured in the country? Does this underscore people's worry of production?
Well, as for the issues of illicit firearms produced in the country, we all know how serious the situation is. But this is an assault rifle, an imported assault rifle, and so it tells you that these imported assault rifles are in the hands of people who are trained by the states, and they use it in this manner. It tells you that the guy who is producing them in Alabama at magazine and Concote and all that, only God knows, what these guys are using these weapons for. And we all know that as we speak, 9 out of 10 violent crimes that take place in this country are by the use of a firearm, either locally manufactured or imported. That is how serious it is.
Thank you very much, Doc, for your time. We are most grateful. I was speaking with Dr. Adam Bona. He's a security analyst. He's sharing his thoughts on the arrest of a man who went viral after firing an assault rifle into the air to welcome 2022 at the ANC Mall at East Legon. In other news, for traders at the Chima Central Market in the Bono East region, lack of security is of utmost concern. They worry about their welfare, with thieves and stray animals such as cattle invading the market after the day's business to destroy their stored goods. They also have to deal with cow dung in the mix, which worsen the poor sanitation situation there. As one of the biggest markets in the country, it attracts traders weekly from various locals, including the sub-region and the market. Women say this makes it pressing for effective security to facilitate unimpeded business.
The Chima Market is one of the ancient markets in West Africa, the biggest and oldest in Ghana, and the largest in the Bono East region. On any day, it is an ordinary trading center until the stalls get set for market activities on Wednesday. With all the clamor, it is full of life and actively in session until Friday night. It is an open market for all kinds of quality and affordable foodstuffs to electronics, building materials, animal products, second-hand clothing, and more. It attracts traders and merchants from all parts of the country and beyond who bring products from as far as Mauritania. The Chima Central Market is best described as a magnet for food in the country. Even though it is possible to get almost any item here, its immediate surroundings is in poor shape when it rains.
Yeni security biya boy ho ban awo dwawe mu sano se na dwano mpuntu no be de na ade akoso
Buni istini baye no eye na sa ne mfa so a yanya ne dwamu ha no wo hwe dwamu ha no ma ye di dwa ba ye nhunu buni istini baye ye nya dwa no mfa so bia e fi se atache na ye wo mu no still ye da so
wo hwe aburo dwa na ye da ha na nsuo to a unya ba bi kura unjina ha world food program for basen o man ye bedi dwa on beto aburo ba da no so ye tie ye mo be na nsuo ato wo hwe atache wo dwa yi ma na aburo dwa no na ya akono se on beto de akọ man foforo so ta no me nyina eboye.
As a one-stop market with relatively cheap goods, the market is saddled with choked gutters, poor lighting systems, and unauthorized placement of containers, meaning it has no access in the event of an emergency.
When you get to Chima Market, very big market, we have only one fire hydrant in the market. So, and the market is so huge. So in case of fire, even maybe at the area of the fire, to even move from that place to where the hydrant is located, cars might have occupied the whole place. And
you're watching News Hour, time to make way for business. To stay.
Good afternoon and good to have you join us. Time now for the business segment, and I am Dorothy Ajamai. Starting today, January 4, 2022, the Customs Division of the Ghana Revenue Authority will begin the implementation of the government's policy directive on the reversal of the reduction of values on the import of 43 selected items. This will affect items from all the three categories to which the reversal was applied. Government in 2019 introduced the benchmark policy in accordance with the World Customs Organization's policy on regular review of valuation databases. Under the policy, certain commodities were benchmarked to be prevailing world prices as a risk management tool to reflect the true market dynamics of these commodities. Benchmark values are reference values that customs uses in determining values imposed on imports meant for clearance at the country's ports. In 2019, the government directed the reduction of the benchmark value or delivery values of imports by 50%, except for vehicles who were to be reduced by 30%. The initiative took into consideration factors such as protection of health, the environment and security, as well as protection of local industries. According to the Ghana Revenue Authority, there have been a series of engagements with the relevant stakeholders to reach a consensus on the implementation of the policy. Some of the imported goods affected by the reversal of the benchmark values include sugar, Portland cement, palm oil, aluminium finished products, rice, poultry, toilet paper, mosquito coils, machetes and vehicles, among others. The Customs Division of the GRA, in a letter to the management of the country's seaports, managers of the Integrated Customs Management System and the business community at large, stated that the reversal policy was to take effect on Monday, November 15, 2021. However, it could not materialize materialize. Hence, the directive that the implementation should start today, January 4, 2022. According to the Customs Division of the GRA, the repeal of the reduction policy is in view of an agreement reached on the issue following various discussions on the matter, coupled with an expected revenue increment. In a separate letter to the Commissioner General of the GRA, the Customs Division outlined guidelines for the implementation of the new directive by custom officers. Per the letter, the implementation of the repealed 50% benchmark value will be facilitated through the Integrated Customs Management System. Already, provisions have been made in the Integrated Customs Management System for custom officers to be able to directly manage the reversal of the benchmark value on the selected goods, the removal or otherwise of the 50% benchmark value on imported goods has caused a banter between the Association of Ghana Industries, AGI, and the Ghana Union of Traders Association, GUTA. The Chamber of Petroleum Consumers Ghana, COPEC, has predicted fuel prices could go back up to about 6 cedis 8 pesos, partly due to the Omicron variant. COPEC is projecting fuel prices may go up by about 20 pesos in the next pricing window. Fuel prices currently sell at about 66 pesos at the pumps, but there is an expected change in the coming days. According to the chamber, economies are beginning to open again after an earlier scare due to the discovery of the variant. This had earlier led to a fall in the price of crude oil on the international market, causing the commodity to sell for less than $70 per barrel. However, the price currently stands at about $76 a barrel, as it has become apparent that the Omicron variant isn't as deadly as its predecessor. COPEC expects local ex-pump prices to increase by 3%, translating into 20 pesos increase in price per litre. However, some OMCs may not utilize all their margins, and if they don't, a 15 peso increase at the pump may begin from 1st to 16th January 2022. Let's have the performance of the local currency on the forex market. That's it for the business segment. The international news is next. Please